So I had my first tool casualty on the Craftix CX605 mill here. I broke one flute off my 4-flute 3/8 carbide milling cutter there. The way I did it, I'm trying to machine some clamps here to mount to the base. Had them welded up, but I just needed to mill some clearance here for the bolts to go in. I'd done 2 of them. This guy was the 3rd one, and it was sitting in the vise just like this, and I was milling this side, and it grabbed a holt and yanked her up like this and spiraled her right up the tool there. It happened twice actually, even though I tightened her down tighter and different things the second time, still did it. And that's when it broke the flute off. But see, it did a little damage to this too. The bottom here, I got this big, piece sticking up there, so I'll have to file that down. But I kind of gave up on using this one. I don't know if it's you might see maybe it's not clamping correctly because it's wider on one side than the other. I don't know. Like I say, the other 3 worked just fine, no problems whatsoever. But anyway, I'll show you what it did to my tool here. So here's the flute broken off my 4-flute tool there. Did a pretty good job on it. So I don't usually throw things away, so I'll be cutting the opposite sided flute off, making it into a 2-flute. And I actually kept cutting with it. It still cuts relatively fine, but it's got to be making some weird vibrations with 3 instead of 4 flutes at the bottom, because that's pretty much where I was cutting with, was the bottom 1/4 inch or so. What I was trying to make here was some clamps to hold V-blocks down on the table to machine crankshafts. Of course, like cutting keyways in them, that type of thing. Of course, it would be, I'd have to remove the vise and mount one each side of center there, and I still have to build something across the top, an actual clamp to clamp the crankshaft to my V-block. But these 2 guys here are just to hold the V-block to the table. So anyway, so now I guess I got to get back onto eBay and get me a new 4-flute cutter. I think it was good for about a $30 touch, if I recall correctly. This one's a type that you can plunge cut with. I don't necessarily need that. It can cut like a drill bit. But that's the kind my son, who's the machinist, told me to get. So that's what I did. It did cut fine until, like I say, this one here must be, I don't know, it must be wider on. Well, I didn't clamp it in the vise. The vise wouldn't hold it for some reason, so it kept yanking it out of the vise. Not good, anyway. So, but I'm sure it won't be the last tool I break. I'm trying to be easy with things. I don't horse on the machine, not like I do on cars sometimes. Try to be relatively easy with things. Take my time. Take easier cuts. Don't load the thing right down for everything it's worth. So try to make things last. Anyway, everybody take care.